everybody doing today? I hope you're doing wonderful and having a great day today so far. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Gabe and this is Gabe Loves Makeup, and we are so glad to have you here. And when I say we, I mean you as in me as in you, because this is your channel as much as my channel. So we welcome you here with a great big old hug. So come on in, pull up a chair, grab yourself a little cup of Coke, a little coffee, a little tea, you know, whatever it may be, a little snack, because today we're going to be discussing something that I hear all the time about, and that is why do companies discontinue stuff in the industry? Why some of our favorite products go away? I know with some recent discontinuations of some products that some people have those wanted to kind of know. So I just thought I would give a little bit of my feedback after being in the industry for like 30 plus years and just kind of give you my little theories and what I believe and have heard that the reason why they do this. So if you're interested and you want to hear my theories or you want to hear what I have to say about it, then stick around and let's talk about it together. So before we get started, just to throw out there, we're not promoting anything or anything like that. This is the Lisa Eldridge lipstick in Rainbow Spill. Look how beautiful that color is. It's so pretty. But I did it with I put just a little bit of this and her Dance Card lip gloss over top of it. It's just so pretty. I actually did a little bit on my cheeks, just a little bit, because I have to do a makeup look after this, so I can't use a lot of this. But this is a really beautiful color. I really like it, so I'm really enjoying it. So I just, in the height of things that have been going on lately, the recent discontinuation of the Dior Air Flash. I know a lot of people, because I do work for them. If you're new to my channel, I do work for them part-time, and I also work for Lancome as well. So, I work for companies and see things discontinued, and being in the industry for 30 plus years, things come and go all the time, and, it just kind of be expected. But unfortunately, sometimes it's products that we absolutely love or holy grails that we really love. And this is just kind of like my little bit of a feedback on it. So disclaimer warning here, it does not mean that I'm not up in corporate America. I'm not the president. I'm not the global president. I'm not, marketing. I'm not any of that. I don't sit in boardrooms and pick out what's being discontinued and what's not been discontinued. So I'm not involved in any of that. So these are just my theories of what I believe, of being in the industry, hearing things, because they really don't give us the full details and the backdrops of why they do things sometimes. But I do have my hunches and what I do hear from some bigger executives and things like that over the years and throughout my career, and being once in corporate and being, in New York a lot and being in offices and stuff a lot. I do hear and see a lot of things and do get feedback from the big people. So I kind of have a little bit of knowledge about it. So anyway, so let's get started. So to kind of explain this to you guys a little bit, I was trying to figure out a way that I could explain this to you guys where you could kind of understand. So let's just use Lisa's lipstick here, for example. So this particular product, it's a lipstick. So this lipstick is money. So anything that you see like this, between the component, the bullet, the way it goes in, the lid, the emblem, the name of the lipstick, the trademark, the copyright, all of that takes a lot of money. And so, but we don't think about that when we buy a lipstick or when we buy a moisturizer or we buy whatever, or when we buy a foundation or a primer or whatever, we just think, it's a primer. So we don't really think about all of the thing that goes behind it, like the production of the name, getting the trademark of the name, and they have to, keep the copyright of the name, and they have to consistently pay for the copyright after a certain amount of time to keep that copyright. You may see brands, a lot of times, like, we'll say like Estee Lauder Double Wear that will use Double Wear in many other forms and things instead of coming out with another makeup with a different name. They use that trademark because they already have the trademark on it and they already have the rights and everything to that. So therefore, they don't have to spend extra money on the name because that alone is a lot. We're not even considering, as far as packaging, you're not the outside, the packaging that it goes in. You're not thinking about also the all the money that they spend on marketing and campaigning, and then now with social influencers and social media and everything and all of that too, and the magazines and what have you. It's a lot of money. Companies spend a lot of money on these products whenever they put them out. And to kind of break it down for you guys to kind of get you to understand a little bit even better, I'm going to use this little bit of analysis. So, let's pretend that you are a cookie maker and you have your own little cookie shop, and you open up your own little bakery, and you have this best-selling chocolate chip cookie, and it is like the best thing ever. Well, you sell it and everybody loves it. So everybody from all over comes to get it. You have people standing in line waiting on this chocolate chip cookie. They absolutely love it. And although you have other things in your bakery and everything, this is what you're known for. You're known for this chocolate chip cookie. So with that said, your cookie does really, really well. Well, I mean, after time slows down, it's like newer cookies from other companies come out and they want to go try those cookies. So then therefore your cookie is not as popular as it once was. So then you decide, well, in order to make up for my sales that I had last year, I need to come out with a new cookie. So you come out with a new cookie, and you come out, and let's say it's a oatmeal peanut butter cookie with raisins in it or something, and it's like phenomenal. So anyway, you're still making that chocolate chip cookie because you've got all these other things that you're still making because you have a bakery to run. But basically everybody wants to come in and they want that oatmeal peanut butter cookie. They don't want the chocolate chip cookie anymore. So they just keep coming in to buy the oatmeal peanut butter cookie. So the chocolate chip cookie just kind of sits there, but you still have to make them every day. So with the ingredients and the packaging and ingredients and all the stuff that you put together in it. And then after a certain amount of time, you can only keep them for, a couple of days before they go bad or they get really stale and you have to make a new batch. But you keep making all these batches of these chocolate chip cookies, but nobody's selling them. Or they're not selling anymore because everybody wants the oatmeal peanut butter cookie. So what do you do? So you're kind of like, well, I'm spending all this money on this cookie, but I'm not really making any more money off this cookie. I'm making money off of this cookie anymore. And I'm just wasting all my ingredients and all my money and everything on this cookie that's just sitting here and nobody's buying them anymore. So what do? You discontinue the cookie. So when companies make a product, they like with a lipstick or a foundation or whatever it may be, they look at the broad picture, they look at everything. So it's not just like in the U.S. Let's say Mary Jane in U.S. and Macy's in South Illinois, she sells a ton of this one foundation, and then maybe 2 or 3 or 5 other ones sell a lot of it too in another area. But but let's say the rest of the United States, they don't ever sell it at all. It may sell really, really well in your hometown, but it doesn't sell well anywhere else. So when companies get together, or when they get together and they make decisions on certain things, they look at every month on how that sold. So if that foundation came out, the first time it came out, it did really, really well. Everybody wanted it, and it was very, very popular. And as it just dwindled down, it's like over the course of the months, the sales dropped on that product because now there's another new product in Sephora, or there's another new product in Ulta, or maybe that company came out with another product that everybody's more interested in than they were in the foundation in the beginning. So they look at all the sales in the quarterly months and see how they're doing in those sales. So later on, it's like within 6 months or so, they go back and they look at their quarterly sales, but they look at the foundation when it started and when it took a nosedive, and how much have they sold in it, how much are they not selling in it. The same thing with certain colors, the same thing with certain shades, it's just a broad spectrum when you look at things. And then the companies like Dior and companies like Chanel and companies like, Estee Lauder and Lancome and a lot of those really, really big companies that are all over the world, they look at global, they look everywhere. They look in Asia, they look in United Kingdom, they look in, in US, they look in Australia, they look in all these places because the majority of rules is that everybody has similar products or the same products. And then there are a lot of those countries that have products that we don't have, that we don't carry, like in the US, that they carry in Britain, or they carry in Australia, or they carry, in other places. So when you look at it in a broader, bigger picture, like let's say, for example, this particular product, which is only sold in the U.S., by the way. So Dior was only carrying this in the U.S. It's not carried overseas in Europe. It's not carried in Australia, as far as I know. It's only carried in the U.S. So this was a U.S.-made product for the U.S. only. So when they kind of look at the broad picture of things, it's like, evidently the sales were dropping in the product. It wasn't worth being made anymore. The packaging was very expensive. It's not very environmental friendly. Probably it was just the cost productive wise. It just wasn't worth for them to keep making the product and to keep keeping it. Cause again, their shelf life is only, a year or two to keep it in the warehouses. And then the stores buy the product. So whenever a buyer goes in and they purchase products for that store, they're looking at their sales and they're like, okay, well, Mary Jane, she sold, in this store, she sold 3 last last month, but, you know, she still has 9 in stock. So basically, those 9 are still sitting there. So 6 months down the road, the 9 are still sitting in her drawer. So basically, they're going to have to end up eventually eating that product eventually, and they may have to take it back because of the, you know, the sunscreen in it, or maybe the product's just gotten too old. It's just sit there too long. You know, sometimes lipsticks go bad. You know, sometimes your lip liners just dry out. I mean, you know, that kind of sort of thing, and they have to take a hit and a loss on it. And so therefore they would have to either replace it or they would have to, you know, order more. And if they're not really selling it, then why? And then, you know, then of course you get people that come in and they buy, you know, product from their local beauty advisor, and, you know, and she tells them all about the latest and greatest stuff and they buy it from her. But then you have those people that don't, and they don't tell you about the latest and greatest, or they don't show you that foundation. And therefore that foundation sits in the drawer and it never gets sold. And then you'll have somebody maybe 6 months down the line that'll come on the brand and they really love it and they want to sell it. So just an FYI, if you do have somebody that you love in a local department store or someone that you really trust, definitely, you know, keep in touch with them. It's very important because they are the ones that help us sell a lot of this stuff. You know, in Sephora, when you go into Sephora, Sephora's always going to go, you know, most of they're going to go to the latest and greatest and what's new. They're going to talk about that. They're going to take you to whatever's newest, what's hottest. You know, so basically, and that's every other week, because every week a company is coming out with something new. They're coming out with something different. I mean, you know, how many eyeshadow palettes do we own? I mean, how many companies come out with eyeshadow palettes? Do you think about these companies have these turnarounds like consistently? They're competing with people all the time, and they just can't keep up with it. And, you know, and then eventually their product gets old and it sits on the shelf and it's not making them any money anymore until they make a new product, and that product's selling now and this product is not selling anymore. So it's, you know, it's a little difficult. It's hard, I know, because especially if there's something that you absolutely love and you just really cherish it and you enjoy it, or there's a color that you love or a lipstick color that you love or an eyeshadow that you've used for 10 years and that company is, hey, if it hangs around for 10 years, first of all, you're very lucky. Or if it's a color that you hang on to, because that's very rare sometimes. And just a FYI, you know, companies that are, you know, usually European companies, you know, that are more of your French companies, they are going to consistently change lipstick formulas. Like Dior's getting ready to come out with Dior Rouge. They are reformulating that again, and they are redoing the colors again, just like they did with Addict. I mean, you know, Lancome did that too with their lipstick. Chanel's doing it with theirs. You know, they consistently are coming out with new lip innovations because of, you know, most of the European countries love lips. They love mascara, they love liquid liner, and they love foundation. They don't do bronzer there. They don't do a lot of blush there. You know, there's certain things they just don't sell. They don't sell a lot of eyeshadow, because women overseas, they don't wear all that stuff. You know, we're in America, we love our stuff and we love to wear it, and we wear it quite often, and we love our layers and things like that. But, you know, over there, they don't. So, I mean, you know, they might wear one thing and not wear another. So, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, if you really love your products, you know, make sure that you know, you buy them quite often. If you have an issue with a discontinued item, definitely go on that site, you know, and, you know, on that actual site, I wouldn't go like in Sephora and say anything like, I'd say, for example, if it's a brand like Dior, for example, we're just using them as an example. But I mean, but if it's like Dior, and you don't go into Dior or Sephora and mention it in the comment section, because Dior is not really going to see it in Sephora. So you need to go on the Dior website. You know, I'm not sure if there's a customer service number or not. I will leave it down below if there is. That you can get in touch with. But they used to have those, but now I think it's pretty much all done by the comment section. So definitely make comments, because they do get seen and they do get heard and they do get back to you sometimes if there's a reason why you're very upset about it. If you make a little bit of us think about it. I know that at one point in time that when Air Flash was out, because this product came out, I think it was around 2004, 2005, and they had like 4-3 shades, and then it was it was like a hot, just fun product for Dior. It was just like a runway fun thing, and they were going to keep it for just like a season, and then it did well in the US, and they decided to hold on to it a little bit longer, and then they finally discontinued it, and then everybody made us think about it, and then they brought it back, and then they added like maybe 2 or 3 more shades, and then, you know, then eventually it became what it is now, and then now it's being phased out again, because evidently the sales on it were just not that great. I guess everybody had it. They just only use it on special occasions. They don't buy it quite often. I know there are customers that do purchase it quite often, you know, but just remember, you're not just the only person. So it's like I have to take a mountain. You have to a bunch of people to move a mountain. So you can't just not one person can move that mountain. So just keep that in mind, that it's like, you know, it's as much as we like to make it all about ourselves, it's not always about ourselves. It like to be, well, it's me and it's my foundation, but it's like, you know, but you have to, it's a bunch, it has to look at the bigger picture than that. You know, so you got, maybe it might make it a little bit easier for you when you do see something being discontinued. I've gotten to where I've just gotten more, not, cold to it. I've just gotten used to it, because again, I've worked in this industry for 30 years and I've seen so much being discontinued and reformulated or redone again, and some that are flops and some that are great and some that are do really wonderful. You know, sometimes more flops than things that succeed. You know, but you just have to kind of like just take it with a grain of salt and be like, okay, you know what, it's a product, you know, it's like there's, you know, usually you can find something on the market that's usually either similar to it, or it might be a dupe to it, or it might be something that, you know, that is just something that's better that's out there. You know, it's just so much out there now. And that's also another thing. It's just, there's just a lot out there, guys. It's a lot. And if you've been in, you know, you go to Sephora, you go to Ulta, you go to the stores, you know that there's a lot out there, you know, online, you know, everywhere. So just, you know, keep all this in mind. You know, this is just like my little tidbit to give you guys some information. Please leave a comment down below. I mean, I'm sure that there's things that you love, that you miss, that you absolutely loved. If you do, you're more than welcome to share that down in the comments. You know, we'd love to hear them. You know, if you're upset about something like that being discontinued, or something that you love that's current. I know that in Lancome, they're going through they're revising the house of Lancome, and there's a lot of things that are being phased out, and some customers are very upset about certain, you know, foundations and formulas and moisturizers and things like that we've had for a while. You know, but companies have to go with the times too. So unfortunately, you know, they have to go. If they don't, they will crumble and fall under, and we don't want that. You know, we want everyone to succeed, and you know, sometimes you just have to look at it that way too. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this made any sense. I hope that it did. I don't know, sometimes I don't make sense. Anyway, you know, thank you so much for listening. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you've stayed this long and you've hung out this long, you know, please give a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. You know, we're trying to grow. We're almost at 1.5, and it was slowly but surely I'm getting there. It doesn't help that I haven't been able to download as much lately, but anyway, but definitely do that. And you know, remember, be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall. Make sure you tell somebody that you love them today, because life is way too short. And also remember to be kind to someone today, because kindness can go off a long way. And with that said, guys, we will see you again in the next episode. Please take care, and see you again soon. Bye.